Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to part 5 of the Reimagined Battlestar Galactica from the TV series Build Up. So, as you can see, a lot of progress. Actually, more like completion. Well, not 100% completed. It's missing some very important items. Flight pods. So, quick recap on everything. After the last video, I just kind of kicked myself into high gear, and I went ahead and I got everything assembled. I did not video it because it was just basically assembling the two halves here, filling in the lower half of the alcove here for where it connects to the lower section, filling that in, and then it was just attaching the front part, and then it was priming and painting, and that was pretty much all there was to that. I didn't want to bore people with the video on that. It was pretty straightforward, so I didn't bother even videoing any of that. But basically what I did was, after it was all assembled, I went ahead and attached the front. I primed everything in black, and then I gave it a base coat of the Tamiya Sky Gray XF19. And the reason why I primed in black initially is because I wanted to darken the paint a little bit. I didn't mind the color of the Sky Gray, but I wanted it a little darker, and instead of mixing a custom color, I just used the black primer, which did darken it a little bit. And then once it was all assembled and painted, I gloss coated everything with a couple of coats of Future floor wax, which is my go-to for glossing. And then I went with a panel line enhancer, and as you can see, I went ahead and just did all of the panel lines here, and the same thing on the underside. Now, I know this will be covered by a decal. 90% of the ship is going to be decal, if not 100% of it. But I just wanted to make sure that if anything showed through the decal, it would be detailed out. So that's why I did that. And it will be getting a weathering of a black wash once it's completely decaled and everything. So again, Sky Grays, to me a Sky Gray was the base coat, and the flight pods are done in the same manner. They are coated and panel lined as well. Now everything went together really well. I did have a few issues, one of which was my mistake, and one was a manufacturer's error, I guess, in the designing of this ship. I'm not sure. The error that I found was actually up here in the connection point where the front attaches to the main body, and right in this section right here was a very large gap. So even though a decal will cover this section, the decal would have sunk into this very large gap if I hadn't filled it. So I took some plastic card. I found a piece that was just about the right thickness, and I cut it and shaved it to fit, glued it in and painted it, and once the decal goes over that, you'll never know it's there. So that solved that problem. The other issue was my problem, my mistake. The engine caps. Now, you're going to notice they're a little different than what the kit shows. The kit, these are ribbed instead of smooth. And the reason why these are smooth and not like the engine, like the kit parts, is because when I was painting these, I was using my heat gun to dry them, and I guess I wasn't paying attention. I got the heat gun too close to one of the engine caps, and I ended up melting it. Not badly, but bad enough to where it was deformed. So I initially looked on to see about buying another kit. Well, my online hobby store didn't have any kits available in stock, so I said, oh, let me look on eBay. And well, yeah, I found a bunch on eBay, but they wanted a couple $100 for the kit. And I was like, I'm not spending that kind of money on a kit for one little engine part. So I kind of sat there for a while and pondered how to fix this issue, and I thought, well, let me just cut the piece that's damaged away and see what I can salvage from this part. And I did that, and unfortunately it was about most of the top section here was destroyed, so I had to cut most of that away. And I just took some plastic card, some really thin plastic card I had, and I did 2 layers, one going on the uphill slope and one on the short slope. Glued all that in place and let it dry for about a good day. And I just took a emery board like this and some smaller files, and I just sanded it till I sculpted it to match this other engine. And it's not perfect, and I know it's there, and I'm sure if you look at it closely you might find that this engine cap is a little thicker around the edges than this one is, and that's because I had to bump up the thickness on the top section here. But you know, I sanded it down and I got it as close to the other side as I could, and then I painted it. And honestly, if you're looking at it from arm's length, I could not tell you that was scratch built at all, and looks about the same to me. But by doing that, I lost the ribbed detail on that engine, so I had to go to the underside of it and sand off the rest of it. So that would look kind of weird having one smoothie end cap and 3 of the stock ones. So I just went ahead and took that same file and I just went and sanded down all the rest of the engine caps until they were all smooth. I don't think it looks really bad. I like it. It's not perfect, but it's good for me. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm happy with it, and that's what matters because it's my model. So, and I think with the lights on, it's really going to accentuate everything. And to be honest, I don't think you're going to notice it. If you're a rivet counter, you might, but I'm not a rivet counter, so don't worry about that. So I got those painted and got those installed. They went on pretty easy. The back engine, the primary engine of this ship, as you saw from my last video, was a completely clear piece that I had to paint, and I did that, and I put some panel line enhancer inside there as well, just to bring out more of that detail on the top and on the bottom there. And that panel line enhancer really pulled out a lot of intricate detail that you really can't see on the camera, but you'll definitely spot it in the still shots. And I did test everything, and it lights up beautifully. The only issue I had with that was, being a clear part, I had a lot of light leak issues from the seam where you connected it. And I even went as far as I painted black, to me a flat black, inside the lip of this cap, this piece here, that fits inside the main hull. And that knocked out, I would say, about a good 70 to 80% of the light leak. The rest of the light leak that I was dealing with, I just took some of that same flat black say it 3 times fast, flat black paint, and I just brushed in the seam line where I saw light coming through. And then once I was dried, I just shot it with the my airbrush with the base color, reglossed it, and it turned out pretty good. And pretty happy with that. Sorry it's not wanting to focus. My camera is not the world's best, apparently. And like I said, looking at this thing from a rear shot, I even have a hard time seeing which engine was kind of scratch built. So now I went down to my local hobby store thinking that they might have it in stock, and if they did, I would have bought it, but they didn't. So now these engine caps are only put on with canopy glue. They're not cemented in, so down the road, if I ever buy this kit again, maybe for a scratch build, I might take the engine caps off and put them on. But for right now, I'm perfectly happy with the way they are. Now, as far as order of operations go with the decaling, because at this point it's ready for decaling. It's completely gloss coated and ready to go. I'm going to decal and weather all 3 components separately and then attach them. Reason why is because I have to handle this thing an awful lot of doing a lot of this stuff, and I don't want to risk breaking off the flight pods. And also, I think it would just be easier to do these separately and not attached, because then I have a hard time getting into the inside parts of the flight pods. So I'm going to decal and weather these individually, same thing with the main body, and then when it's all done and sealed, then I'll attach it all. I also have got the guns that go on this ship. There's quite a few on the lower and upper sections. Painted and weathered. You're not going to be able to see them really well because they're so tiny. I can't get in focus on that, but very tiny guns, but they're all done and ready to go. Again, will be installed after everything is completed. But that's kind of what that's how I'm going to do that. And then once everything is done, I will wire and attach the flight pods, and we should be good to go. That's the plan anyway. Now, I am not going to solely decal this ship on a daily basis for hours at a time, because there is approximately 1,100 decals to put on this ship, and I will drive myself bonkers doing each and every single little decal. So what my plan is, in the interim of working on this ship, I'm going to actually start another build series, and then as I'm working on that, I will stop every once in a while, work on a little bit, put in a few decals on here, go back to the other model, and kind of go back and forth. That way I have a break in between, because this will take several days to completely decal. The model I'll be working on in the interim of this is actually for my wife. This is a build that is for her because she is a big fan of the musical Grease. And we were in a local hobby store one day, and I happened to run across, I was looking at the cars, and I happened to run across the Grease Lightning, the 48 Ford convertible from the musical. And my wife's, and I pulled it out, and I looked at my wife, I said, check this out. And she looked at it, and her eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. And I said, I looked at her, I said, well, would you like me to buy this and build it for you? And she kind of like shook her head yes. So I said, all right. And this was the kit that I picked up. It's by Revell. It's the 48 Ford convertible. Do believe, what scale is this kit? Let's see. There's not a scale on it. Or does it? It was a 125 scale. Now, I've heard from other modelers that I talked to on Hangouts, and they have actually built this very same kit and said it's a wonderful kit to work with. It goes together really well, and they're very pleased with it. I will be lighting this kit, headlights, taillights, and a dash light, and I will be making it exactly as you see on the box. Some of the box art on the side here looks really good. I did have to buy one color for this model. I had everything else I needed except I didn't have the Ford engine blue. Could not find Ford engine blue at my hobby store, so I found the next best color, which I think is about as close as I'm going to get for the Ford engine blue. And this one is actually by Revell also. It's an enamel. I don't care for enamels too much, but just for a little bit of the engine work, I'll deal with that. So this will be the primary build, or the primary build video that I'll be doing, and you'll see me kind of jump into showing some of the decal work on this ship as I'm working on this kit right here. And then of course, once the Galactica is completely finished, stand and everything, then I'll be doing a final video on that with lights and everything, plus some beauty shots at the end. Sorry about that. I have a frog in my throat. Anyway, so that's kind of the plan. That's where I'm at. If you guys have any questions or comments, just drop them in the comment section below. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank all my subscribers. And hope you guys enjoyed the build so far, or are enjoying the build so far. And hope you guys enjoy the build on the Grease Lightning, because I'm going to have fun with this one. I've been wanting to build a car model again for a while, so it's going to be fun for me. And yeah, that's going to be about it. So until next time, everybody take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.